There are a lot of carnivore zealots that are going to tell you that as long as all you do is eat meat, it's going to be impossible for you to gain fat, that any weight that you do gain is going to be muscle. And if somebody tells you that, do not listen to them because they are an idiot and they don't know what they are talking about. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another Sunday Q&A. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be answering the question, why am I not losing weight on the carnivore diet? And the answer is simple. It's because you're not in a calorie deficit. The carnivore diet is just like any other diet, and as with any other diet, if you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. There's absolutely no way around that. And there are a lot of carnivore zealots that are going to tell you that as long as all you do is eat meat, it's going to be impossible for you to gain fat, that any weight that you do gain is going to be muscle. And if somebody tells you that, do not listen to them because they are an idiot and they don't know what they are talking about. I see plenty of people in these carnivore groups and they're always asking, why am I not losing weight? Why am I gaining weight? So if in fact what they were saying was true, then these questions would never arise in these carnivore groups. And I've also had people ask me on my actual channel saying that as soon as I ended up making a video about how you still need to count calories on the carnivore diet, they started counting and they saw that they were losing weight. So if you are trying to lose weight, don't listen to those people. You still need to be in a calorie deficit. That being said, if you are the type of person that you do not like to count calories or that you do not want to count calories, you don't need to, but I'm going to get into that later on in the video. You can still lose weight without counting calories, but if you are losing weight, it's going to be coincidentally because you happen to be in a calorie deficit. Now, if you do want to lose weight, again, it's going to come down to calories in versus calories out. There's absolutely no way around that. If you're in a caloric deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're in a caloric surplus, you're going to gain weight. And if the amount of calories that you take in is equal to that of your total daily energy expenditure, your weight is going to stay exactly the same. Now, when it comes to actual weight loss, how much weight can you expect to lose? Well, it's going to come down to the calorie deficit. There are roughly 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So if you want to lose 1 pound of fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit of 3,500 calories over the course of an entire week, which is going to equate to a 500 calorie deficit per day. Now, my personal experience, I ended up doing a little bit of an experiment because last year I wanted to put on some weight and I just wasn't filling out my clothes nicely. A lot of people were making comments how it didn't even look like I work out. So I wanted to put on some weight and I ended up doing a 4,000 plus calorie surplus, not a 4,000 calorie surplus, but I was consuming over 4,000 calories per day. And over the course of 28 days, I ended up putting on 22 pounds. I'm going to put a picture up right up over here. So that right there is proof that if you are in a caloric surplus, you can put on fat even on the carnivore diet. You can't just eat whatever the hell you want and expect to lose weight. Now, when it comes to how many calories do you actually need, this is going to be very dependent on an individual to individual basis. You don't want to cut your calories too much because if you do cut your calories too much, your levels of ghrelin are going to be elevated, and ghrelin is your hunger hormone. Whenever ghrelin is elevated, it's going to cause you to crave high calorie dense foods, and it's also been linked to poor decision making. So the chances of you going out on a binge late at night if you restrict your calories early in the day are going to be very, very high. Now, how many calories do you need? Well, I made a video last year, and I'm going to include a link right up over here if you haven't seen that video, but as a baseline, what I like to do with my clients and patients is do 10 times their body weight and use that as a baseline. So if you are 250 pounds, it would be a 2,500 calorie diet that you would be following, and then you would adjust it accordingly based on how much weight you're gaining, losing, or if your weight is staying exactly the same. Ideally, you wouldn't want to lose more than 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week, because if you start losing more than that, chances are it's not going to be very sustainable, and you're going to want to go out on a binge, and you're going to end up losing all of the progress that you've made. So you're better off sticking to that 0.5 to 1% range. If you are able to lose 1% of your body weight and you find that it's very, very easy and you're able to sustain it, then you can start to cut your calories even more, but don't go too much too fast. And now that we got some of the misconceptions about calorie counting in the carnivore diet out of the way, what if you are the type of person where you do not want to count calories? Well, if you don't want to count calories, there are plenty of ways that you could still lose weight without counting calories. I'm going to list just 2 of them right now. These I have used with my patients and my clients, and they have worked absolute wonders. If you are somebody who is non-compliant with your diet, this is going to be something that you could do that is going to be very, very easy, that requires no weighing and no calorie counting whatsoever. The first is going to be the 5-10-15-20 rule. I made a video a few months back and it was called How to Lose Weight Effortlessly Using the 5-10-15-20 rule. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to include a link right up over here. But basically what the rule is, the 5 in the 5-10-20 rule stands for breaths. So you want to take 5 deep diaphragmatic breaths prior to starting each meal. This is going to put you in a parasympathetic state, which is your rest or digest system. So it's going to allow for optimal digestion of your food. And also, when your cortisol levels are lowered, because when you are stressed, your cortisol is going to be higher, your insulin sensitivity is going to be increased. So you want to get yourself in a parasympathetic state and lower your cortisol levels so your body is able to better utilize insulin. The other thing is when you do have less cortisol circulating throughout your body is going to be able to adequately produce more testosterone. If you have chronically elevated levels of cortisol, your testosterone levels are going to be suppressed. So you want to be able to get in a nice parasympathetic state prior to starting your meal. The 10 in the 5-10-20 rule, 5-10-15-20 rule stands for 10 seconds between bites. Whenever you take a bite, put your fork and knife down for 10 seconds. Just enjoy the food in your mouth. For 10 seconds, just chew on it and then go into your next bite. The 15 in the 5-10-15-20 rule stands for 15 minutes. That is how long your meal should last. If it is lasting longer than 15 minutes, those calories are really going to add up. So if you want to minimize calories without counting, make sure your meal does not last longer than 15 minutes. And finally, the 20 in the 5-10-15-20 rule stands for a 20-minute walk. After your meal is done, go for a 20-minute walk. This is going to help for several things. One, it is going to help you burn a few calories that you consumed from the meal. And then the second thing is it is going to aid in digestion as well. And it's also going to make you feel more satiated. So after you finish your meal, go for a 20-minute walk. Another thing that you could do if you don't want to do the 5-10-15-20 rule is use your hand as a guide for your portion sizes. I also made a video last year, and this was how to lose weight effortlessly without counting calories, and I went over it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to include a link right up over here. But basically, with regard to the hand portion sizes, this is a little neat trick that I learned from Precision Nutrition about 10, 11 years ago, and this is really good for clients that are non-compliant with their diet because it's very easy to follow. You're basically going to use your hand as your portion size. So your palm, that is going to be a serving of meat. That right over there. So it should be the same circumference as your palm and the same thickness of your palm. The great thing about using your hand as your portion sizes is that your hand is portable. You can take it with you anywhere. If you are at a restaurant, if you're at a friend's house, if you're at home, you don't need a scale. Your hand is always going to be there. The other thing that you could do with your portion sizes is for fats. Your thumb is going to be your fat portion sizes. Now, with regard to the Precision Nutrition, I kind of modified it a little bit based off of the type of diet that you're following. With the Precision Nutrition approach, they basically you want to get some carbohydrates in terms of starchy carbs, vegetables, fats, and then proteins. I ended up modifying the portion sizes based off of the type of diet that you are following. So if you are a vegetarian, vegan, paleo, carnivore, keto, whatever diet you're following, I modified it based off of the diet and how you can use your hand portion sizes to determine how many actual serving sizes you need. But go ahead and give that video a watch. If you guys have any other questions with regard to calories or why you're not losing weight, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.